can release, trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep, trying to get a high life, I was in a Jeep, trying to get a high life.
Switzerland's going down the I-95. Touchdown, fifth gear, 125. Reach new heights, hoping I don't die if I crash this whip. If my money shift, hope my trans don't slip. I ain't got the money for repairs in this bitch. Wanna have fun, but a nigga ain't rich, so I brought this 20-year-old piece of shit. Honda, you ain't living life, let's see lemonade start up. Get that piece of mind from a nigga selling part out. Listen, 10 mils, man, I should've ripped your heart out. Put it back together, you can see you work on cars now. So when I pass that Jeep, I don't wanna see you flash your high beam. In the left lane, can you match my speed, or please get the fuck out the way for me? Peace.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 can release, trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep, trying to get a high life, I was in a Jeep, trying to get a high life,
I was in a Jeep late at night, swerving all up on the streets, no guarantee it's ever solo. 2 bitches in the back, 1 sitting right in front, doing blow, jumping around just like a pogo. Stick sitting on my lap, driving all around the map, and I am looking for a come up. I won't stop till the sun comes up, so what is up? I push my luck, I'm driving fast and no fuck, they go to Popo. Now I'm using this Jeep for a high speed, trying to blind me with them hobbies, I can't see shit. Pit maneuver right beside me, had to swipe me, lost control, now I'm going head first in the ditch. But I open the door and got away on foot, guess the girl's gonna have to take the fall for the shit. Now I gotta call Token on the phone and explain to him how the fuck I just crashed his whip.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 can release, trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life.
High life, I'm with it. Don't know what is my limit, but if you're gonna throw it, you know that I dive in it. Yes, I'm rapping tropes, but Token knows that it's dope. Got a bump in every line that I dish, cause I slide in it. That's a dope coke bar. Why you go so hard? I'ma leave a rapper spitting like I broke your jaw. Taking shots that I can miss beyond a low-dope car. Made 100 million streams on some solo songs. Trace a track like a rubber in the hands of a gold digger. Where you going with this, bro? I poke holes in it, cause I'm so sick. I'll take a whole brick and crumple it up inside of my hands. I blow my whole cold nose with it. That don't even make no sense, but I said it. Been doing this a decade, bro. It's lit noise. Every open verse that I do, but you know that I did it. Token and Crypt together, call it a Bitcoin.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 can release, trying to get a piece of the high life. I was in a Jeep, trying to get a high life, I was in a Jeep, trying to get a high life,
I was in a Jeep with a no-name face and a 3-way grace called Kimberly. Let's be straight, I don't know their names, but it seems like fate with mystery. So I clean my plate, nose clogged, numb face, and a night gone down in history. They done booked a plane as a flight one way, and I think the rest is history. Tends to be missing me like I miss blowing a bitch. I call Kimberly bitterly sweet with a face full of missing me. Kissing a bottle that's filled with the Hennessy. Drop down, bust a little body all over my dick. Talking my shit like I wanna get hit. Told her I'm sorry, that's just how it is. Show me the high life, let's hop in it.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 can release, trying to get a piece of the high life. I was in a Jeep, trying to get a high life, I was in a Jeep, trying to get a high life,
I was on a Jeep with the energy for these enemies. They keep tweeting this on sight, but I never believe them. They say they demons, but that's egregious as saying that I'm Christ. I'm far from it. When they cross me, forgiveness is not something that comes to my mind. When I turn the other cheek, I see the devil on my shoulder. Now y'all done it. Listen, I was on a Jeep with Token. We was joking about these little dweezers posting things provoking. We supposedly, but we know that they just seek promotion, need some motion. We should culturally educate them, leave smoke in their rooms, better ventilate them. Got the rap game looking like these chicks on the Jeep. Got walls, but they begging us to penetrate them. Chris, gang.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 can release, trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep, trying to get a high life, I was in a Jeep, trying to get a high life,
See, I be in the Jeep for the motion. I reach for the seats cause I beat me a token. And up, not steering while sipping a potion. I crash real fast and I cause a commotion. Fuck. So I swear up the pier and I land in the ocean. A Jeep and the Kimberly's flood with emotion. A tweaking and freaking and screaming while soaking. We were flying so high while they snoring the coconut. All 3 mirrors and noses are broken. The hospital won't be a tryst, what I'm hoping. So I swim out the Jeep to the beach. I'm just trying to get my mind right. Kimberly's trying to follow me cause they just want the high life.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 can release, trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep, trying to get a high life, I was in a Jeep, trying to get a high life,
I was in the Jeep, 1, 2, 3 girls looking at me. I don't do beef, but your boy let her eat. If she love beef, yeah, you can hold my meat. Pause, that one's on me. Everybody on my dick drinks on me. If she do it good, I'ma pay a fee. Lockjaw bitch, she'll ride like the beat. Order no jeans, rapper shit katsu wa order no G's. High that for the wa ganja no keys. Wait a minute, nigga, we still rapping the English verse. Flow so animated, you niggas just can't attend it. I'm popping on anybody that's calling me a savage. Rapping like I'm about to dilapidate, commentating. I'm probably over my limit, giving you the damage. Whoa.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
This is the vibe. Just cause you living don't mean you alive. Since we was children was taught how to hustle, not how to be happy, how to survive. I knew about food stamps since I was 5. You can't buy toys with them, but I still tried. School gave me salmonella, I almost died. We ain't pay medical though, we was fine. Now off of that medical though, we be flying. Been up like 7 nights in a row rhyming. Baby won't rush when I blow perfect timing. They putting pressure on us, but we diamonds. I do what I say like my first name was Simon. Got my mechanics, broke them all down. Heart in my brain in my heart. All in alignment, my gut with a crayon, so fuck with me now.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
Nobody ever thought that I would be doing the things that I'm doing, cause nobody gave a fuck until I did. In the whip with a whole bunch of different people that only be doing evil. I didn't see it, but God did. And now I'm thinking about the life that I'm living. I like what I did, and I didn't like the life I was living. To die for attention, now I wanna die with a vengeance. Found with the bitch, and they open up their eyes when I mention it. I'm the illest motherfucker that you ever heard. Whisper in their ear, cause they be listening to every word. Baby girl, I just wanna take you all around the world. Show you what this life is like at the highest heights. And I got the end of pearl, let it burn. Everybody smoking, rolling, and blowing, joking, and token. This girl's bad as she know it. She told me get with the program. The realest shit ever quartered is we only get one life, so treat it like it's one eye.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
I was in a G3D, got a bag on me, do I need to repeat? I'ma just talk my shit, cause these rap hoes weak and my pen he seek. Drop fast like a bad DD, can assist these hoes, I ain't CP3. Everybody just leave me be, made 20 in a day, no PPP. Everybody wanna benefits, but nobody was there when I was getting it. I'm really from the basement. Y'all be talking on the internet, I ain't getting into that, cause when we outside, you don't say shit. Put on work 10 to 10, then I do a 10 again. If the bitch bad, I'm a minute man. Trackhawk getting many men, who I ain't better than JAE, bitch, remember that.
I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
Here I come, feel the scum flaws of immaculate, breaking shit down like laws with the cracker spit. Hell nah, I might gnaw on the track a bit. Coneheads don't know the raw, I could pack a spliff. Had a hit, imagine it was adequate. Saddled in the floss like a boss when he's accurate. I don't give a fuck about the cause of a pacifist. Come through like Santa Claus with a sack of shit. Showtime, I drop jaws and attack the shit. I don't swing that way, please pause like smacking this. I swing back fades, these paws might smack a bitch. Played my cards, now read them and weep. Blue face, green smoke, weed with a beast. Take 2 L's and grieve for the weak. Stay cool with a J backseat of the Jeep like.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
Shit, I was in a boxed out Chrysler van with no backseat, but a fucking beanbag, fucking 3 stacks, we Mac. Every tag got popped at the stove, had to run we fast. Hijack all the goods and it's back to the hood. Cause suburban stores don't mind if we would. We shine if we could, nobody gonna stop us. We ride till we dead, the driver with the coppers. Stereo just bumping the block. Every hose and every dog is jumping the lot. Every motherfucker wanna be up in your spot. Don't play it, but I made a good pimp for the guac. Come proper when I pop her, come pop her up in the back of the box. So what? If a motherfucker see us tossing tough, then I guess I'm gonna see some cock and muff.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
I was in a Jeep, pump a little peep, puff a little weed, got an eye for the high life. Always had a dream, started making beats, hit 'em with the heat like a 9 in a drive-by. And now I gotta grind like it's prime time, ride my wave like it's Wi-Fi. Got a couple bad bitches wanna make offspring, and they say I'm pretty fly for a white guy. You can put real music in the gravesite, thinking that you came up with a great rhyme. You know talent having ass bitches type of sentence, and you think you crossed over like AI. Bad girl bitch wearing Jigo jeans, brought along a friend, she an emo queen. I got 'em going crazy like CeeLo Green, now we all wildin' out like Chico Bean in a Jeep.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life.
I was in the battle of my conscience, a good and evil. I be achieving leader with dominance, leader with confidence, never ever leave it anonymous. I can promise that I'll be keeping all of my promises, cause I was in the Jeep trying to speak to people, and she was in the back with a spoon and a needle. I need 3 IVs and at least a teaspoon of adrenaline. I'm trembling, I need to read you, listen close. You don't need a church to teach you, live within, find God, can't wait to meet you. When it takes one call, then a fight and equal, stand tall, that's all. And tonight I'm grieving, motherfucker.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high high life.
I was in a GT block like I'm TT. Light skin girl looking light, never TT. If she let me hit, then I'm outie like a TT. She can never see me, pass it to the GG. Family girl, but she down on my weenie. Tryna keep a PG girl when I repeat. Family girl, but she down on my down. I'm tryna keep a PG girl when I repeat. Woke up in a crib that I don't know. Room full of pills and a GoPro. She wanna take pics, that's a no-go. Turn a king size to a pogo. You ain't even know though, you ain't even know though. Passo tipo pensando nesse shit, querem saber do meu beijo. Não há fotos, ninguém fez nada. Quero ter desejos da mais do crib. I just got a brand new whip, Jeep novo é top gama.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberlys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need for the weed. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
She be on the seat with the breeze in the feet and the gold in the teeth when they laugh like a drive-by. Why you so expensive? Let me buy time. Headed so quick till it go. I don't see another stop sign. Pull up in the Jeep, her feast got pussy juice in my teeth like a piece of meat. She pretty like a Maltese, but she off the leash. She gets loose, got a treat, brings it back to me. She go beep beep. When she back it up, back to me. How your leopard came back? What a tragedy. I gotta staying up late with the weight, gotta wait with the legs in the air like it's gravity. Okay, go. You in the slot like a token. Don't speak to my dog cause he hurt cause they did him like Logan. Now he don't stop saying Kimberly, girl, I ain't joking. Homie, just tell her the story.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberlys trying to get a piece of the high life.
Damn.
They don't love me, but they have a need for the weed. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
I was in a Jeep with an iPhone, taking pics off Kimberly in a white thong, telling me she wants to slide down on my python when I'm sipping on the bomb with the lights on, turn the mic on, everybody knows I'm gone. Hold your ones, no H and Ron. Make it tape it long like it's Ace said John, like the placement convince everybody that I bust the baddest. I beat it up till it's red like a radish. Then I make it swing like the Uso Savage and show the damage with all the antics. It's FRA. I don't wanna say the rest until the Jeep seats are wet and now we're messing. If I ace this test, then I done my best and SC the vest, cause you know.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberlys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need for the weed. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
I was in a Jeep with the seat kicked back. 3 Kims deep, all freaks, no cat. One talk sweet, but her heart's all black. Other two beefing like a rap diss track. Eyes on me like a YouTube ad. I don't buy dreams, but I do move fast. Told them I ain't rich, but I rap like it. So they climb on board just to grasp my digits. Gaslight flicking, passing limits. Baseline hitting like passive critics. They don't love me, they just love the tickets to the high life show with the backstage gimmicks. I ain't tripping, I know my lane. I paved the road with flows and pain. Now I'm in a Jeep with the heat on blast. Got dreams in the tank and my foot on the gas.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberlys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need for the weed. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
I was in my sleep, I eat the beat, beefing like Guam. I plate my dick, she be eating Jeep, thugging tweets like she texting, deleting with a green in the water to get the shit leaking. Roll up, collar is stuck, can't get enough, like my flow with the battery stuck. We run it up like a pump, air bud, they kinda blow it up. Took too much, she in the back, and now she throwing up. Brush her teeth as she walk out of the bathroom. Call her friends so they could try to play tag. Too saucy with cheese, you keep calling me ragu. Come out on high like you was in the back rooms. Stacking tokens at my low, it's stacking up. It's time to blow it, racking up. My mouth is loaded. Wait, where was I again? Ah, shit, I
was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberlys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need for the weed. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
I'm in a Jeep with 3 V's, V, Revi, and her. I'm guessing Victoria, making the rounds like CDs, chasing bleeds in the race with the price is euphoria. Done with the drill, this isn't me. I don't really fuck with all of the things on the high life. Wait. Most of the things on a high life accident. Talking just incidentally. Set the virus free on the killing spree. Lyrically stabbing the track. Something's wrong mentally when it's on the beat. Lexi says je charbonne mais quand je suis au lit. Bonjour. Les Français vont se fâcher et me traiter d'un police au corps.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberlys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need for the weed. It's a penalty of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need for the weed. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep.
I feel cooler with the hoodie. I don't know why. Yeah.
I was in a Jeep.
Yo, Token, let me tell you something. I was in the Jeep, 20 G's deep, weak from my payments. I was in the Jeep upkeep with the maintenance. Then I see a leak cooling deep in the pavement. White smoke in the back, sweet with the fragrance. Head gasket blown. Ain't gotta tell me, bro, cause I already know that's 10 grand more just to get it on the road. But it's still 18K on a loan. Warranty passed just 3 months prior. Brand new tires, I'm a Costco buyer. 20 rubber duckies and the dash shit acquired. Man, F this Jeep, wanna set it on fire. So ain't no high life for me. I'm on a bike cycling with my wife to be. Credit check, I'm in debt, trying to wipe it clean. Help me make it overnight, give it like it's free.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberlys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed is a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
I was in a Jeep beep with a bitch, and she did a lot of this, but she had big tits. And I swerve on the scene, little play big dreams. My 2 favorite colors is money and weed. Let me get it right now. They tell little homie go ahead, pipe down, but this girl hit my phone saying need pipe now. Now she a little freak, think the type to go rounds. The shit is off balance, need a little challenge. They say they can rap, but they really lack the talent. Limp dick, like the shit went flaccid. If I need to buy shit, all I do is cash hand. Nah, want a little bit of highlight, so we go get high right. Start token, make sure the rhyme's tight. Piece of cake, and I'm aiming for the big bite. Ugh.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberlys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed is a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
3 girls in the back as I pay my ride. If it ain't about money, don't hit my line. If the dollar sign ready, just hit my guy. Tryna upgrade a Jeep to an F-15. Vroom, bitch. Pile of dust, get out the broom, bitch. Sweep that. Repeat laps, got a 3D map. And the straight don't simple as Riri's back. We all wave while we passing them by. Me and his Jeep had a hell of a ride. Trinity love flashing me eyes. Kimberly had a hell of a time. Speeding freeway, living the life. Give no leeway when I'm in drive. MPH up if you say some, I don't hear it.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberlys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed is a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
Want a white with the Prada. The breaking back is to give it to him raw and cut. These niggas faking come with too much duff. Them Grizzlies suffer too much stuff and EMTs because you all suck. A bitch, please, you know who I fuck with. MLB, yeah, them dudes, my brothers, enemies. Take a shot, I bust a middle finger in a pussy on a center on the way like fuck yeah, I'm cold. Give me some more tuss and I'll leave when it comes to flow. Can't leave when it comes to draw. I'm Johnny Depp when it comes to blow. I'm in the lead land, I'm on tip of Peter, feeling comfortable, yeah. I see your heads now, got them hands in the sky with me side to side every time you hear me flow. Catch you for the high when you hear me though. Ooh, that dude, cartoon, he be spitting that dope.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberlys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed is a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
It was you and me in the backseat, hot and heavy like a sauna that is 6 deep. When I'm done, feel like I just read a track meet. Man, I steal Jeep, also smashed up your crab meat. Shall meet only when I want and I drag feet. Shall be, but you tasting more like some canned beef. Attack me within bad knees and your flat feet. Gilmore on the floor, not look so happy. Here's my rap sheet, I'm a damn beast, lyrical athlete doing double, triple trapeze at ease. Puff a weed, take over rally. War paint on my face like an Apache. I was put on this earth for all of your baddies. While your night ends badly, and we with your baddie. Insert token, Kimberly at me. Backseat, black Jeep, Kimberly happy.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberlys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed is a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
Yo, he was in a Jeep, I was on a creep, 1 deep, trunk full of heat, gotta eat anything sweet, no time to grit if we go these quarters, I gotta meet on that mission to be a lead, can't be tricking on a treat, it's groupies and lobbies every single day of the week, all you gotta do is speak if you're trying to clap cheeks, reclined on my seat where my monitor seats, you know what they say, you don't grind, you don't need, I be out of the reach, got no time for release, they see me with this quiche, now they want them a piece, on beat to beats, bring heat, just like a fleet, gotta get over the zump, no matter how steep, tell the Kimberlys I'm on the road like a swift truck, Rico Law, always gotta get my chips up, MLB, stick to the code, I never switch up, if I hit a loss, you know I'm trying to get my sup.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberlys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed is a penalty of the high life.
High life, low life, somewhere in between. Tell me what you want and I'll tell you what I need. K-Unit with the hyphen in between, like I did with your girl, she was all up in my sheets. Backstage with the backdrop, with the backpack filled up, yeah, it's got all of my merch. My rage on a camera with a snapshot, I guess that I will deal with this, sir. Take my pen and then I penetrate it. Don't do drugs, but I am levitated. Doctors wanted me medicated. Music is my only medication. Shh. Silence. I don't think you understand the violence. I don't think you understand the violent tendencies tend to be autopilot like
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberlys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed is a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
Used to be cheap, count a penny each, now I spend it all cause I'm trying to live a high life. 6 feet deep where you go to sleep when it's all over, so you better live a high life. Yeah, this body is leased, I reincarnated and made me a peach. Like rats in the maze, we all chasing the cheese. I live for the moments where I'm feeling free, yeah.
When I'm feeling free.
Yeah. American dream, American made, like driving a Wrangler, or catching a fade, or making a milli off words that I say. I've been on a rise like a sun in the A. Live for my brothers that all passed away. Shout out to Brandon and shout out to Ray, man, I'm on my way.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 camera leads trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
Look, I was in a Jeep rolling 3 G's deep trying to reach the skyline. I take a little hit of the weed, it's guaranteed to give me some wings. I'm popping and passing to my right to the 3 bad bees in the back of my ride, wearing nothing but strings. It is a tease in my mind, speeding through the breeze and they're freezing now, grabbing on me for the heat, so I'm seeking out a spot to park, a lot that starts to stop the car. I'm gonna need a mop by the time we start. Then I clock a bar and drop a mark, they lock the yard, but you know they let us in when I mock the guard, cause I'm a serial syllable killer, instrumental Hannibal, a lyrical thriller when I'm simply spitting a symphony made up of synonyms. The way that I'm spinning them with the surgical synergy got you thinking I'm Eminem, huh?
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 camera leads trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
I had the pack in the back of the Jeep at 17, and I can be the last and the least. I've been massive, I'm max on the screen, no acting, I'm actually been at it, I'm not elite, so active and not the lead in my prime life. And passive, I'm passing the lead, so savage, I'm smashing the weak. Check the highlight, better heed the lesson, for the heat's directed. Took a need the weapon, squeeze the western with the deep deception. I don't need to stress it, on the king, no question, infinite. From the middle of the map, kill the city, race me, no brakes on the whip, tinted window, shady, 2 M's for the plaque, ain't no ifs or maybes, work a rain to fit, we're gonna drive them crazy, bitch.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 camera leads trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
Pull up for the bass beat, roll 6 deep. Bad little hoe on the low, she creep, she leak on the seat when I roll to the beat. I flow with the heat like poles on the street. Fly down the highway, thick little blonde babe, so damn turn, she sipping that Bombay. Little cowgirl, she tripping down Broadway. Took her to the telly, she limped down the hallway. Got a taste of the high life, see the truth, not impressed by the highlights. Yeah, told hit me up, said flame this shit. Shut the fuck up when I'm playing my shit. No peep in the Jeep, they glued them lips. Say she wanna ride, I'ma bruise them hips. Really, I'm the truth, I'm the shoot that fits. Standing on business and the suit gon' fit. Sure.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 camera leads trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life.
I was in a V, whipping in the street, chilling with some chicks from Tennessee. It was only me, Dolo with the 3, couple more in the vicinity. To infinity, cause each of them trying to finish me, showing its divinity. All 3 of them Kimberly, it's like the Holy Trinity. Hope they end up forgiving me. I don't really care about the lovey-dovey, I'm not your hubby. You ain't going color, you don't really love me, you're just a buddy. How am I sober if I'm living a high life? It's my life, married to the game, and that's my wife. And I'm nice, and they don't like it cause I'm white, but mom's right, I'ma blow up when the time's right. Skate off, you on thin ice, you think you got balls, when your jaw better think twice. Couple loose screws like my head isn't in tight, that's why I might shoot when I give you my insight.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 camera leads trying to get a piece of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
Hey yo, I was in the Jeep in the backseat with a little freak. I had made in line in 5 guys. She was into me, I let her hit the weed. Now I'm very pleased from the skill set she provides high. We were never just chilling, I got Wi-Fi. Different colors up in the weed, looking like tie-dye. Taking shots at the Hennessy, drunk in the highlight. Even though the vibe was a sink, I told her bye. Head back, eyes closed, oh my. Curl toe, girl, go shit, bye. Love her first slur, head to the sky. My surprise, told her we should look again. Give her 5 high five, no lie, the highlight of my life. Got me having thoughts of making her my wife. Natural beauty chick, remind me of Ice Spice. Melatonin dick, I give it at night.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 camera leads trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
Bad bitch wearing my wrist like sheesh on me. She got come cheeks believe, and I leveled up beyond the smell bees. Your eyes deceive like Keanu the Reeves, where I pop on the scene. Smoking green, show me the motherfucking man to the queen. I'm too unseen, all the fucking eyes on me. A prodigy's comforting, sing you under me. But back to the topic, I'm kinda psychotic, but all of your thoughts microscopic. I got it, I see it, I want it, I bought it like we in the tropics. Exotic. My whip on be calling, the plug got a link, now we out here ballin'. They say rap is my coffin, to that all I'll say is the token that I'd be a problem.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 camera leads trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so do we. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
It's WB, I'm known for running the streets. If we got a problem, then we come and handle the beef. I'ma give him cold cuts with slice all the way down to the white meat. Hey, you wanna see a magic trick? I'm on massive shit, like an acid trip, acting like a pacifist, but I always pack my fist, trying to prove my point like an activist while sipping activist. Trigger finger itching, trying to kill the competition. Better take these notes and use this composition, or you gon' end up high, cook up in the kitchen without a pot to piss in. Ha! Beep. beep. I say, who got the keys to the Jeep? It's DSP. I'm WB. Wow.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed is a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
I just got a pack for the low. If you really want to smoke, get a piece of this high life. I was on the bench, now I ball on the bitch. I can dunk on the bitch, check the highlights. Gotta get my token. I was in the projects, now I see the views on a high rise. She was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys, smoking with a G. That's a high life. I'ma send a verse with the price right. Knock it out the ring like it's fight night. If you getting money, that's my type. Rolling up the gas in the Jeep, that's the high life. Views going up in a minute, you don't really know the feeling, so they come and get the business. Hopping out the truck, it's a Benzo with a bad bitch and a bankroll.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. Bitch, they don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed is a penalty of the high life.
Look, I was in the Jeep trying to get a high life like Miller. Got a furry cat chinchilla in this bitch, and ain't nobody willing. They say I'm giving them, really giving Ben Stiller. I ain't got a man, but these hoes gon' get off of me. Talk to me nice, or I had him out topping me. Ain't no one stopping me. It ain't a lot of me talking to God. I'm fulfilling a prophecy. Yo, wait, feeling like Wayne back and no, wait, never been a side on my hoe plate. Talking little shit, but a hoe ain't. There's no way. Kimberly fucking with bitches like Carly. I'm smoking a cig on the back of a Harley. A little unstable, but I bring the party. And back in the Jeep, I was just getting started like I was in a Jeep, bitch. Hey.
Way the boy give gas, I'm really a dope dealer. Iced out with a stick, I'm really a coke killer. She got good brains, so I'm on a roll with her on a Friday at 7 p.m. with Glorilla. Hate me then sue me, still gonna do me. I got 3 hoes with me, the Jeep hella roomy. They top off convertible, shit like a movie. They blowing my mind like a Kennedy shooting. Loving this new me, I'm fucking up a new beat. Got like 3 different women up in a 2-seat. So she love when I'm in it, but shit is too deep. Notebook, only time I turn a new leaf. Laughing at haters who floating, I feel like I'm Rogan. The competition, what I'm smoking, you need me, can find me with token.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed is a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
Cruising in the Jeep with the doors off in the back, and you know I had 2 bad bitches kissing. On the way to KFC, hit, drive through, we know the like the chicken. These women figure looking, trying to chase a milli, knowing I Wayne. Put it on at every track, so they feel 11 bang, trying to get a piece of the high life. My life ain't always been what it seems, but I ain't ashamed. Back on my bullshit, you know that I get it. I've been trying to tell them it's Jay and I'm with it. I really can go on for days, no limit. On a different level, I hope they can feel it. And if they can't feel it, it's fuck their opinion. I do this for me, give 2 shits if they listen. I'm really the 2, cause God first what you thinking. I'm really the 2, cause God first what you thinking. I'm gone.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed is a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
I was in the beat going off like a Molotov. Ain't nobody telling me to stop, so I'll run it up. Marathon, run the first place, no runner up. Now all the competition running off. Where'd it go? I don't know, I just rap with the flow. Trying to be like me, you can't, you not my bro. I'ma go straight to the top flow. Hungrier than ever, so you know I'll always want more. Now that I got your attention, have you drank water today? Put all your problems at bay. Easy, how I make it look every day. I move fast, don't like the delays, so let's get it on delay. I don't got time to waste. In this rap game, better know your place. Try not to get stuck in a rat race.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed is a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
Shit is getting sticky like it's Chinese wine rice. Shit is getting icky like my side piece, nah right. Riding in my Jeep while shorty was swallowing deep with no highlights. Trying to get a 5 guys outside. Let me get a slide and a soda. I'm about to get into a motherfucking knife fight. I'm a high dive, taking out your Wi-Fi. If you gotta go, I'ma make sure that you die right. Get him down, making sure that he don't breathe. Keep talking your aura, fake like a sci-fi. 70 blows to the chest, putting you to rest. Anybody wanna party with my life? I'll never sleep, I'll never eat. Shit's getting deep, keep running your mouth on the side right. I'm too competitive, lethal injection for everyone, a sedative. Take that.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed is a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
Hold on.
I was in a Jeep trying to get a high life.
Kill this all day, all week, bay on freeway. I made it way too steep, little bitch on my migraine. Hey, they ain't nothing but a byproduct. I'm my byproduct when I really gon' make it spit 5-5. Like Sand Love Freddy, I'm ready, really ready. Already getting freaky, spend 5 nights. When you want a high rise, get side-eye. This love, no, yes, bitch, I lie. Tread in the water with caution. Water fire burn, I'm burning the water. I murdered the father. Birdie been waiting first curtain call, motherfucker. I set the D on a bitch tonsil. 40 autos on Jeeps, only 44 little old feet from the boy. Bump my shit from the West, go New York, back a bit, bitch, yeah, all the way to Illinois.
was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed it's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get the high life.
She want a piece of BIMNT, 3 Kimberleys, I leave my nuts empty. Hopped in the Jeep, now they ask, can I rent me? You don't wanna make chicken, you just met me, crazy. Fucked in the back, now she want my baby. Chick real slim, but she not so shady. Pass her off when she hit like Brady. Fuck, bitch, damn, ooh, fucked me, bad move. You ain't no queen, got about my Jeep, and a damn way you coming to my castle. So 6 feet, please, I don't really care if you mad, ho. There are plenty more in your seat, from the front all the way into the back row.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed it's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get the high life.
We was in a Jeep, I was in the booth. Slay songs like I got something to prove. Say songs like I got a chicken coop. Finna go and let them ticks refuse. We rain down like it's vegetables and soup. Wake up fed, I'll feed you 22. If you're lucky, 40's on vacation, save it for the little CEO to lose. Chop the ducks and turn it to deluxe. Mozzie born, proceed to give no fucks. I'm Kazi calling bitches like it's mush. I'm cold side and ordinary cut. Cut them bitches off, roll them in the rush. Now I got them titties flushed. Got this shit up on the side. Side bitch going hush.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get the high life.
Never gonna bleed, never gonna see, never wanna meet what you do for a Klondike. Never could be me when I'm in the Jeep listening to me. Got a complex, yeah right. Well then I'll just do it myself. Been moving mountains under my belt. Self-care tends to ruin my health, but lately I ain't getting no help. Never wanna listen, go to Ramsey in the kitchen. Never wrote a rhythm, but I wrote the rhythm. Though it's been a minute, but I reinvented all the shit I've been against. Silly with the hate the minutes, but he independent. Shit, my bad, let me slow it down. Wanna kill some more, but it's over now. Y'all had your turn, I'll take a bow. Now go like Tokescat, go blah, blah.
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed it's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get the high life.
Okay, wanna ride the high life, tuck it to the right guy. Got a 40 in my hand and a gleam in my eye. Shorty's leaning on my thigh, got my shorts on the rise. Pitching a 10 as if it ain't come inside. Yeah, now I'm banging her in the back of the Wrangler with the top off. Used the seatbelt to tangle her and strangle her until she got off. Let her catch her breath. My turn, she's ready to earn it. Just learned a new trick telling me practice makes perfect. Oh yeah? Let me see it. What do you gotta show me? What do you show me? What is it? What are you doing? What is that?
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need for the weed. It's a penalty of the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get the high life. I was in a Jeep trying to get the high life.
Chasing the high life, wake up in the morning with a breakfast bowl full of cereal. Thoughts. I need me a couple bitches who are nothing but a bunch of fucking feral. Thoughts. I hate rappers who always be flaunting, talking that shit, thinking that they be getting it, but I'm nothing but a bunch of butt munching, good for nothing, stupid fucking fake ass frauds. Break her back in the back of the Jeep and rock that shit till it goes beep beep. When it comes to this life, this shit ain't cheap, pussy boy. Every show you will reap, bob like sheep.
Tasty looking bitch, she a buttercup. She on my knees begging me to fuck it up like a line of coke. I cut her up. I was in that bitch in the back of the Jeep like
I was in a Jeep with at least 3 Kimberleys trying to get a piece of the high life. They don't love me, but they have a need, so the weed it's a penalty of the high life.